No one on Earth believed aliens existed until one crash landed in my backyard. It happened on a quiet night in the outskirts of Alaska, where the sky was so clear you could see the Milky Way like a river of diamonds. I was outside stacking firewood when a streak of emerald light tore across the sky. At first I thought it was a meteor, but then the light shifted direction and screamed toward the forest behind my cabin. The explosion rattled my bones. Flames painted the trees orange as I grabbed my emergency kit and ran. I wasn't thinking about danger, search parties, or government helicopters that would swarm the area soon. I just knew something or someone had crashed. When I reached the clearing, my breath caught. A sleek, metallic craft lay shattered, its hull glowing blue with heat. It wasn't human. Panels sparked. A strange humming filled the air as though the ship were trying to heal itself, but didn't have enough power. Then I heard a cry, soft, pained, and unmistakably alive. I ducked under a piece of wreckage and found her. Her skin shimmered silver, not metallic, not quite flesh. Her hair looked like glowing threads of violet light. Her eyes, frightened, confused, intelligent, were the most brilliant gold I had ever seen. She flinched when she saw me. Her hand lifted defensively, and bright circuits traced themselves under her skin. "I'm not here to hurt you," I whispered, raising my hands. She studied me, trembling. Then she collapsed. Instinct overrode fear. I picked her up gently. She was light, almost weightless, and radiating heat like a furnace. The moment my skin touched hers, the glowing patterns on her arms shifted, like they recognized me. I hurried her back to my cabin, unaware that decision would change both our lives. By the time morning came, the storm outside had buried the wreck in snow. The world would never know something crashed here, unless she told them. She woke slowly, panic rising again as she scanned the room. "You're safe," I reassured. "My name is Ethan." Her voice sounded like layered harmonics, two tones speaking in unison. "Seranya," she said faintly. "I am Seranya of the Lumari." Her gaze flickered with pain. One of her arms was badly damaged. Jagged metal and torn synthetic tissue exposed glowing strands underneath. "I need to repair your wounds," I said. Seranya froze, then nodded. I didn't know anything about alien medicine, but I had tools, alcohol, and steady hands. She guided me weakly. "Cut here, not there. Stitch, yes. Do not touch the blue filaments. They hold memory." Hours later, her arm was secured. She looked at me differently, not wary anymore, but grateful. "You helped me," she stated quietly, as though trying to understand it. "I couldn't just leave you." Her golden eyes softened. "Humans are dangerous. But you're not like the data said." We spent the next days hiding from blizzards that locked us inside. She told me about her people, the Lumari, travelers who map galaxies but avoid contact with developing worlds. Earth was supposed to be an observational world, not one to interact with. Her crash was an accident, and if her fleet didn't find her soon, they would assume Earth destroyed her. Which meant, "They will come armed," Seranya whispered, "to protect what they believe is lost." I stared, horrified. "Your people might attack Earth because of this?" She nodded, unless she contacted them first. But to do that, she needed her ship and power. The crash site was buried under snow and being scanned by drones now. Military forces had arrived faster than expected. Extraction wouldn't be easy. Seranya sank with frustration. "The probability of regaining access to my craft is 0.004%. "Then we make it higher," I said. Her head snapped up.
"Ethan,
"If you help me, and they learn you did, humans and Lumari will both see you as a traitor." I smiled faintly. "I'm not worried about them. I'm worried about you." Something changed in her then. Something unmistakable. She reached out slowly, placing her glowing hand on mine. The warmth wasn't just physical. There was emotion in it. "Then I will trust you," she whispered. We moved at night, crossing the frozen forest toward the crash site, evading patrols and drones. Seranya was weak but determined. Whenever she stumbled, I held her up. Whenever my courage faltered, she whispered calculations, escape paths, probabilities. Together, we became unstoppable. When we reached the clearing, men in hazmat suits surrounded the ship. The military had set up spotlights, sensors, and force barriers. "This is impossible," Seranya said, her voice trembling. "Not impossible," I replied. "Just difficult." We hid behind trees and studied the defenses. I had an idea, dangerous but doable. "If I can tempt drones to chase me away from the ship, you can slip inside." Her eyes widened. "You could die. So could Earth if they misinterpret your disappearance." She looked at me long and hard, like she was memorizing every detail of my face. "If you die," she whispered, "I will follow." I shook my head. "No. If I die, you live. You survive. You go home." She didn't answer, but her eyes said she disagreed. I lit a flare and sprinted across the perimeter, shouting up at the sky like a lunatic. Alarms sounded. Drones swarmed toward me, just like I planned. Seranya dashed to the ship. A gunshot echoed. Someone had seen her. I froze. If I ran now, they'd track me to her. So I turned and charged straight toward the soldiers, drawing every eye. They tackled me to the ground, but I kept smiling, because behind them, the warship door opened and swallowed Seranya inside. The ground rumbled. The ship pulsed with power. A blinding wave of blue light swept outward, knocking everyone down but harming no one. Then a voice spoke inside my mind, hers. "Ethan, don't be afraid." The ship lifted, hovering above the snow. Soldiers scattered. The sky split open as a portal formed, a shimmering gate of violet light. She didn't flee. Instead, she landed again. The ramp lowered. I stared in shock as Seranya descended, walking toward me, ignoring screaming soldiers and raised weapons. She knelt beside me in the snow and touched my face gently. "You risked everything for me," she whispered. "For that, my people will owe you everything." A blazing arc of protective energy expanded from her ship, shielding us both. Ending. Earth was moments away from war, but Seranya stopped it. She contacted her fleet, explaining everything. Instead of assuming Earth was hostile, the Lumari hailed humanity as honorable and worthy of partnership. Military forces were ordered to stand down. When the Lumari ships arrived days later, golden titans filling the sky, they didn't come as conquerors, but as allies. The world changed. Humanity wasn't alone anymore. And somehow, I became part of that change. They offered me power, wealth, technology, but I refused. I only wanted my quiet life back. But Seranya didn't let me disappear again. One evening, as I sat by the cabin fireplace, a soft knock sounded at the door. I opened it, and there she was, in the same silver uniform, smiling gently. "My mission is complete," she said. "I may choose where I serve next. Where do you want to be?" She stepped closer, so close I could feel her warmth like starlight. "Here," she whispered, "with the human who risked everything for me." Her hand slipped into mine, not by accident, not out of gratitude, but out of something deeper. We sat together by the fire, two beings from two worlds, no longer strangers. And even though the galaxy had changed forever, I wouldn't have changed a thing, because helping her didn't just save Earth. It brought her closer than ever. The end.